Ready for Film Roast Podcast.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jorgs.
I'm Scotty.
And we are the Film Roast Podcast, like you just screamed earlier, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Scotty, how has your month been?
February has been here and there before we know it, but somehow really slow at the same time.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. So, yeah, we're going to try and do a box office breakdown. But before we do that, let's listen to our new theme song.
Yay.
Peel back the curtains, set the scene, bring out the film reels and ground coffee. Elizabeth Taylor, all sugar and spice. Rambo ripping heads off cause he's not very nice. Robert Redford's running from the cops. Scarlett Johansson showing her acting chops. Sam L. Jackson got that fine diction, roasting everyone in Pulp Fiction. Doc and Marty escaping through time, playing chess with the Wookiee, put your life on the line. Thelma and Louise are driving coast to coast. Why is this important? It's time for a film roast.
Yes, it is time for a Film Roast Podcast. Here we go. Box office breakdown.
Okay, let's give
us that list.
So we got the top 10. Just missing out in the top 10 are movies from January left over, like War with Grandpa and The Marksman, that are completely forgettable. Wrong Turn. Do you know what Wrong Turn is? Was it number 10?
Wrong Turn.
Yes. Wrong Turn is a horror movie.
That's right. Yeah. And it was, interesting.
Yeah, we didn't see
odd.
it.
No. There is a big problem with our part of the world in terms of film releases at the moment.
Yeah, and access to film releases.
Yeah, so it's been a bit weird in how they've been doing it. So I wanted to go see Synchronic.
Yeah.
Which was out for maybe a week before it had no more sessions in my local theaters.
No, it came and went before you knew it. And it's weird because a lot of other movies have been dragging through from January.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff we talked about in our last podcast was still out.
Yeah.
But then stuff like Synchronic came and it's like, okay, I'm planning to see it here or here. And then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying because it's like the movies that are left over are all the bad ones.
Well, not the bad ones, just the ones with a lot more money put into marketing, because some of them were okay. But they're by and large, a lot of the cool indie films or the ones that were actually really good.
Speaking of cool indie films,
yes,
coming in at number 10, our first movie on the list is actually Promising Young Woman.
Yes,
so it has done it pretty well.
But that's another follow over. That's another crossover from January actually, because that released at the very beginning of January. I'm pretty sure. It did. But I'm glad to see it's doing well, and it's making waves in the award nomination season.
It has got nominated for the Golden Globes, we'll talk about later. But following through that, it's there's more interest in it. It's a movie that's getting more and more interest, so it will drag on more and more at the cinemas, which is good. We were out
last night with some friends, and they were also lamenting the lack of films available in cinema at the moment. And we managed to drop that recommendation, which I hope they take. But it doesn't matter if they do or not, because it's a great film. But more people are talking about it, which is really important, which is really great.
I mean, I've been recommending Pixie to people as well, but unlike
again, that was another Synchronic where it came and went so quickly. We were lucky to get a session before it just left cinemas, which sucks. Again, I wish, and I understand COVID has kind of put a lot more of this kind of thing happening in our theaters right now, because there's less people going. Unfortunately,
it's strange because you think that they'd wait to see which movies were getting interest and then pump them up. But they
don't really have a choice a lot of the time, because they've got to make cutbacks before they even put movies in theaters. And so they kind of just go, well, I mean, this one isn't well known. It doesn't have a well-known cast. So let's just, we'll only have that for
But they're also
a
getting
week.
screwed over by movies like Wonder Woman, which are promising to be big blockbusters and then are just not that great. So you're just kind of screwing yourself over.
Yeah. I think I will release. We might release our Wonder Woman review
shortly,
midway through March. Just to keep you guys going as like a mid-season
a little
episode
taster. I mean, it'll be on streaming everywhere then as well, because it's going to go to.
It already is. I'm pretty sure it's already on streaming.
Fast-tracked it.
But yeah.
Okay, number 9 is Minari. So this movie in Australia
is yet to come out. Which is ridiculous, because it actually came out unofficially last year. It made the rounds last year. Now it's coming out again, worldwide release. It was supposed to come out February. It was supposed to come out February.
It did get limited releases.
It got limited releases in February, but officially it is hitting a lot more cinemas in March.
But a lot of the movies which are going up to award season, which Minari sort of is.
It definitely is.
Yeah. we'll be mid-March getting lots of releases. Yeah. So next month we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
And we'll probably have to do it over 2 podcasts in terms of
probably
a Golden Globes, Oscar. We'll have probably a award season special.
Yeah.
And then get into actual box office.
We should probably do a Logie special at some point because we are Australian.
We should do a Logie special, and just for a laugh as well.
Just for a laugh, because honestly, it is a laugh.
It is a laugh. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? There was a comedian who managed to make someone win just by getting everyone to vote for them because it was an open voting. Anyway, Then number 7 on the list.
Yes.
Oh, it's 8. I'm at number 8. Is High Ground. So
yes, High Ground.
Another movie carrying through, Australian movie.
Yep.
We pretty much talked in length about what we thought about High Ground in the previous podcast.
Not bad, not great, but it does what it does.
Yeah, it's very
northern. But it's kind of nice to see Australian films still in the Australian box office. Usually we won't see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually quite a few on this list. So, in fact, there's 2 more on this list. So Excellent. That's good. Number 7 is Blackbird, which is another award season movie. It's about I think it's a Australian movie or a Kiwi movie. It's
Blackbird.
It's the one about the lady who's dying, decides to celebrate the rest of her life. It's very much not aimed at us movie.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've heard of it.
Oh, trailers all over the place, but
oh really? Well, I don't really watch.
But it's a very this movie is marketed at 50 pluses. Let's just leave it at that.
Fair.
And then, after that was number 7, we got number 6, which is Croods 2. There aren't many kids movies out, so it's not too surprising.
Yeah. There will be this month, though, with Raya and the Last Dragon, which I've heard is excellent. Mm-hmm. So go see that. I will be doing a full in-depth review for the next month.
Yes.
Because Raya and the Last Dragon has garnered a lot of award nominations in the Golden Globes, and it's expected to sweep Oscars as well for the animated category and also just
it's
CGI.
Up against Soul, isn't it? That's
but they're both Disney. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I know. It's like
Which one do you want to win, Disney or Disney?
Yes, it's a bit like that.
But it's very monopolized. I mean, quality though, but still monopolized. Yeah, it's very different to Rupert Murdoch's media empire, where it's just monotonized and monopolized, and it's just not great.
It's
quality.
Not about quality. It's not about quality. It's about making money.
Yeah.
It's true. Anyway, number 5, we're back to Australian movies. Penguin Bloom.
Yes. Didn't see it. Didn't really want to see it.
It's very forgettable.
Did you see it?
No. So I've heard talk to people about it, and it's like kind of similar to the Dry in a sense, where it's like it's really one of those you should just read the book.
Yeah, fair.
Which is kind of sad. And number 4, we finally have a new movie, one of the few new movies, which is Boss Level.
Yeah, we got a recommendation from a friend last night to go see it, which I am interested to see, and I'm pretty sure you can get it on. You can rent it on. I think in Australia it's called Popcorn.
Yeah,
it's an app that's tied to Event Cinemas where you can rent movies that are in cinema.
Yeah,
and watch them at home, which is kind of cool.
So you don't need to go out, although it's. Well, this sort of
I probably will go out.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's a B-grade action movie. It's probably going to be kind of fun.
Yeah. I like B-grade, and there's another. So Frank Grillo is in this.
Yeah.
Who is exploding right now?
Yeah, it's great.
He's got He's got another film coming out with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Which looks fucking balls to the wall, insane sci-fi about these morons who are firing rockets at aliens. It looks crazy, but well worth the time.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Because Frank Grillo, if you don't know who he is, he had a minor antagonist role in Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
As Bones, what's his name?
I can't even remember. He was
Crossbones.
Yeah, Crossbones, something like that. Yeah, a mercenary who turned bad, and
he's just basically like the comics. He's just anti-Captain America. So.
Yeah, but he's not as good.
No, he's
strong or powerful. He's kind of just got this vendetta against him. But so ever since then, he's been in a lot of B-movie action flicks, and it's kind of worked in his favor. I feel like he seems to fit that role, which is great.
Some people just
more than Gerard Butler. I'll say that.
Yeah, some people find their niche. I mean, Gerard Butler was almost better in romances than he was in action movies.
Gerard Butler deserves better than what he's been going for recently, I feel. Like, but he is in Greenland, which is on Amazon, which is not a terrible movie.
Okay.
So it's I think he's slowly kind of getting out of that.
Getting an agreement with Greenland. Okay. Number 3, we have The Dry. So
we do
more Australian movies. So it's kind of good to see how many of them are in the top 10 of Australia, which is kind of good.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
And then, unfortunately, the next one is The Little Things.
The Little Things.
Which is the one with Jared Leto, Denzel Washington.
Oh, that's right.
And the other one.
Yeah, the disingenuous
Rami Malek
cop thriller.
Yeah, I've heard the performances are fine, but the story is just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an all-star cast. Yeah. Rami Malek is excellent. Denzel Washington is excellent. Jared Leto, I'm not a fan, but I can respect the talent that he has.
Some stuff he does that's really good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of just like the plot the plot did need work.
Yeah, unfortunately, Synchronic isn't anywhere near here because it was already out of cinemas like halfway through the month.
It was out like a week and a half. I swear, it was not out long enough before it was pulled.
Yeah,
which sucks. Hopefully, it's on streaming soon.
Yep. So if you can find Synchronic somewhere, go and see that.
Yeah.
But number one, you probably never be able to guess what number one is.
No, I won't.
It is the anime movie Demon Slayer.
Oh, that's right. I have a friend at work who loves Demon Slayer.
I think it goes to say how much anime. It made $1.5 million at the box office over February.
Holy shit!
Which for an anime movie, is particularly a.
To be fair, if any fan group is going to follow COVID rules and go to the cinema in droves to do so, it would be fans of these of this movie. Because like most of the ones that I know, at least, are very reasonable people.
Yeah. The weebs are reasonable. Let's just say that. Let's say that. How about that?
Yeah.
Weebs can be reasonable. But yeah, I mean, in terms of as an anime, I have seen the first season of Demon Slayer, and they do fantastic action sequences in the anime. So it would be nice to see that sort of thing on the big screen.
I bet. I've never actually. Oh no, I lie. I have seen anime films on the big screen.
Yes, you have. I've been there with you.
Yeah. I was just thinking back to my childhood because I was like, have I seen anything? And I did. I saw Pokemon, the first movie.
Yeah, I
remember that was the first one.
Yeah.
And also
in 2000 as well.
Digimon, the first movie. Which
yeah, the dubbing on that is kind of crazy. That's a whole nother story. Yes, but that's the top 10 for February, and it kind of just goes to show like how weird it is that stuff like this is coming. Other movies that came out in like The Witches and that didn't come out. There was Endgame, which was a Korean drama movie that actually almost got the top 10, which is kind of interesting to say. I don't think it was highly rated, but it's like came out all the same.
Another film that came out not in the box office though, that came out streaming was I Care a Lot, starring Rosamund Pike.
Yes,
and a bunch of others actually. It's got a really cool cast.
It's got an awesome premise as well.
Diana Wiest is in it.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage is in it. Chris Messina is in it. And it looks really cool. It's on Amazon Prime at the moment, if you want to see it.
Yeah, Diana Wiest basically plays an old lady and Rosamund Pike sent to her and told that she's to be taken care of.
It's basically a shady legal guardian lands in hot water when she tries to bilk a woman who has ties to a powerful gangster, which sounds fucking great. I love the idea of that.
What is it about criminals and old people that is just entertaining?
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, no, February's been pretty disappointing overall. However, we are looking ahead. March is going to promise to sort of make up for it.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Before we get into the Golden Globes, did you want to run through the other streaming movies?
Yeah. So, first one that I've got on my list is called Moxie, and it's on Netflix at the moment. It tries to be like a feminist kind of film. It doesn't quite. Well, it could be good, but it's not quite there. You know what I mean? So
kind of like Bombshell was.
Yeah, it was kind of like I'm trying to teach you a lesson. So this is the lesson kind of thing.
The problem with High Ground, like talking down to you?
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, sort of. And it was centered around a character that didn't have any urgency of her own. So it was riding on the urgency of other characters around her, which is, again, fine. But it's not like it would have worked better if they had focused on this other character that was in the story who was a lot more interesting and a lot more involved in the tension.
Kind of like the opposite of Promising Young Woman, where the lead in Promising Young Woman affects everything around her and is the center of the story.
Yeah, and everything affects her.
Yeah.
And whereas this, it was kind of like the main character was trying to be affected herself. You know what I mean? Like trying to force herself to be affected by what's going on instead of actually being affected. Not being the subject of what was going on.
Quite often when people try and do slice of life, it's the mistake they make is just making everything happen instead of
it's like a murder mystery. It's like taking a murder mystery, and instead of having the main victim being the murder victim's husband or wife, it's now the murder victim's lawyer.
Yeah.
So it's like there's this level of distension that nobody, like that person should not care that much, even if they are the subject of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of like in Zodiac how the main character played by
which main character?
Gyllenhaal.
Gillian what?
Well, I guess he's
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sort of the main character.
Yeah,
but it's his obsession with the thing that connects him to the case.
Yes. And that works.
And that works, exactly. But
if he wasn't obsessed, it wouldn't work.
No, exactly.
If it was just like his day job that he didn't give a shit about, we wouldn't have a story.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing on my list. The next one that I had that was released early in the month is Malcolm and Marie.
Yep.
Which stars Zendaya and John David Washington, which is a weird film. It was made during lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to the guys who pulled it together because it was a small crew, it was a small cast, and it centers around this film director, and it's kind of like it's really weird because the dialogue is kind of like if you're into film and you know what filmmaking is and you know all of those things, then you will get it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if you're outside of that circle,
it's a bit meta.
It's made for filmmakers. Okay. It's not made for a general public, but I guess general public could get something out of it, which is fine. But it is it's almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of, we are in this clicky it's clicky. It's
pretentious.
A clicky movie. Yeah. Borderline pretentious. Okay. Still well written though. So there's that. Another one on the list, which I'm still yet to see because I'm not sure if it is out here yet. It could be Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar. Which stars Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo. You might not know of Annie. She wrote, what was it? The film that they did a couple of years ago. Kristen Wiig is in it. Where
there's just a few movies like that.
They're going on a bachelorette thing. What is it called?
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. That film. She wrote that film. Scarlett Johansson's in it as well. Fuck, why can't I remember it? Anyway, so she wrote that.
Is it just called Hen's Night?
Could be.
I can't remember. Anyway.
Could be. It sparked a whole trend of those kinds of films. Yeah. But they've come out with Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, which is like an off the wall comedy about these two ladies who are, above the age of 40 now, going on an escape, going on an adventure, to Vista Del Mar, obviously. And it's funny. It's fun. I'm not sure. I think it's on, it is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So you can watch it there. There's also an interesting doco that came out during this month on Billie Eilish.
Yes.
Called The World's a Little Blurry. And I think it's supposed to be on Apple TV, but I think it's coming out on other platforms soon.
You can actually see it at the cinema here in Australia.
Yes. Yeah, you can also see it in the cinema. And then another one, which is all the cultural rage right now. New York Times presents Framing Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Now, this is a fucking huge eye opener for me, mainly because watching, like, I grew up in that era where she was the pop star.
Yeah. I mean, we were the same age.
Justin Timberlake. You know what I mean? Like, they were the funny big thing.
Is, more than Justin Timberlake, she was the big thing.
She was.
Yeah.
And to her detriment. And according to this documentary, which is like they've done their research and it's superbly interesting. But there's a lot of sad stuff that has gone on in her life.
A lot of sad stuff.
That has just really impacted how we, the public, view her unfairly.
Yeah. Very unfairly.
Incredibly unfairly. And I'm like guilty of that 100%. I feel so shit after like seeing this and looking into.
Well, it's about perspective. The mass media presented her and chose to present her in a certain light, which then you must see her in.
Yeah.
Which you got to remember, it's like whenever you're given a news article, the way you see it is through the eyes of the journalist telling it.
Yeah.
So the media on a whole, there's a couple of interviews that you can actually watch on YouTube that kind of highlight this, not just of Britney Spears, but other people such as Lindsay Lohan. And there's a way that they are framed, which should, instead of calling them victims, it says they are villains.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the problem.
Yeah. And it displays Britney Spears' relationship with her father, who by all accounts is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Hope we don't get sued for calling him a piece of shit.
Why would we? He doesn't know we exist.
Yeah, that's true. If he did, well, we don't have much money, so good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah.
Another film that came out earlier in the month is called Bliss. It's an American sci-fi film written and directed by Mike Cahill. It stars Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek.
It was good to see Owen back.
Yeah, it's nice.
He's got a few things going on at the moment.
He does. He's got a few films coming out at the end of this year and also next year, which is great because he's fantastic. And the only thing I can say about it is wow.
Yeah. I'm glad he's in a healthy place too.
It is. So that was pretty much the highlights of what was streaming in February, aside from TV, of course. I mean, we've got WandaVision.
There's so much TV that's good at the moment.
That finished up. We just watched the final episode of WandaVision, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So go watch that. Also, Star has been added to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So if you've got a subscription to Disney Plus, you've just got hundreds and hundreds of movies and TV shows just added to your playlist.
It's kind of funny because it's like a whole bunch of that stuff Binge had, and they still have it. It's just funny that Disney Plus adding Star has taken a lot of the luster out of Binge, which is probably planned. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff on Binge that I've been watching.
Yeah.
Very underrated show called Warrior, which is based on Bruce Lee's, this idea that Bruce Lee had for a film. It's set back in when was the Civil War?
Which Civil War?
The American Civil War.
The 1800s.
1800s. Set just after that, when the Chinese were coming over in droves for jobs in America.
There was a gold rush then too.
And a gold rush there too. Building the railway lines. And it's about, the main contention is set around this warrior who goes there searching for his sister, and he gets embroiled in gang warfare. He joins a gang there, and they protect him while he searches for his sister. And it's so fucking well done. If you've seen Banshee, which was a TV show a couple of years ago starring Anthony Starr.
Yeah, another one.
Incredible choreography, fight choreography, incredible cinematography, great acting. It's in that vein. So if you're a fan of Banshee, go watch Warrior, because the more people that we get to watch Warrior, the better off it's going to be, because they're kind of in a hotspot right now. The studio has been dissolved.
Oh, okay.
The ones, Cinemax, are the ones that made it.
Okay.
And they're under HBO, but Cinemax no longer exists. So the future of Warrior is kind of up in the air right now. We're hoping HBO grabs it and makes a third season, fourth season.
HBO has the resources. It's just whether they use them or not.
Yeah.
So show interest.
Yeah, show interest and they'll make it.
Go watch it, figure out if you like it, and then keep watching it.
Yeah. So that's what I've been watching.
Okay, cool. Should we do the Golden Globes?
Why not? Let's jump into the Golden Globes.
Let's first preface this with the obvious fact about the Golden Globes is that nobody cares.
Not even the people who vote. Unfortunately.
Not even the people who win. No,
there was an article that came out a couple of weeks ago that I read. Emily Goes to Paris is atrocious. It's not well made. I'm sorry. Like, there's been so many people making jokes about how terrible it is. There's even been one fantastic comedian on Twitter who has in her bio creator of Emily in Paris, and she does the fucking greatest job of pretending to answer questions and rip into Emily in Paris as the creator. She's not, but she's just pretending she is, and it's fucking brilliant. She's fantastic.
It kind of reminds me of
there was an
It kind of reminds me of when people talk about Suicide Squad, they call it Academy Award winner Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
because they went for like makeup or something.
Yeah, this is kind of in the same vein. So Emily in Paris, I think, got nominated for 3 or 4 Golden Globes. and an article came out from the perspective of like someone had gone and interviewed somebody who on the board who was voting for the Golden Globes, and they basically said they were treated like kings. They were flown out to Paris.
What?
Where they filmed Emily in Paris.
Oh, okay.
And the studio, which I think is Paramount, maybe? I can't remember. But the studio who made it, they bribed them basically. They gave them hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of merchandise. They gave them holiday packages. They set them up for a couple of days in a 5-star fucking hotel.
I kind of wish I was one of these people. Don't you? It's like, we would like that treatment. Thank you very much.
This is the window into the awards season. Like, if you think that awards are handed out because people deserve them, or even nominations.
I think the nominations here. I think so. A lot of the winners they deserve to win.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
The short list of the nominees. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to even run through. I'm just going to tell you the winners.
Yeah, go
because frankly, as I said, there isn't money that actually matters. So first of all, the drama motion picture was won by Nomad Land.
Yeah,
directed by Chloe Zhao and starring Frances McDormand, and it comes out in 2 weeks here in Australia.
Yeah, probably for only a couple of days, unfortunately. Yeah, but we're going to jump on that as soon as it is.
Yeah, because it's one of the ones to watch because we care a bit more about the Oscars, and it's going to be one for the Oscars too. And it would be kind of cool if Chloe Zhao won the Best Director. Because
she's going from Nomad Land straight to the Eternals Marvel film, which comes out end of this year. Mm-hmm. So if she wins an Academy Award before she goes on to before the public is introduced to her,
a lot
as
of the Eternals
director,
cast, which are
fantastic,
they're all A-lists.
They're all A-lists.
So that if they're behind her as well, that's fantastic for her, and it's fantastic for the.
Also, I'd like to point out first, like there has been, and I know some people like this who are upset with Marvel because of the Eternals. Apparently, some of the characters have been gender swapped.
Whatever.
And race swapped. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck over it. Honestly, get the fuck over it.
Like Marvel has a track record where it's like if they're doing this, it's for story reasons. It's not for
even if it isn't for story reasons, get the fuck over it. Yeah. Like if it's a decision that creatively doesn't pan out, that will happen. And you know what I mean? Like it won't pan out. Mm-hmm. And then they will make decisions later on to correct that.
Yes.
But right now, get the fuck over it. It's not
you can't complain about something until you've seen the finished product.
Yeah. And it's not even something that will impact the plot of the story.
No.
Having someone as a different race or a different gender only really impacts it if that is a part of the plot, if that is a focal point of the plot.
So sometimes gender swaps are perfect because I mean, take the Jessica Jones choice when they replaced the lawyer character with a female role.
Yeah,
they've got Trinity. I can never remember her name, and to play that role, and she was great in that. One of the highlights.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, whatever your perception is, you need to see it in its environment to know if it's good or not.
And not just that, but like. Yeah, what if it is a social justice choice for them to do it? Again, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Get the fuck over it. It's not your choice. Mm-hmm. You are not in a position to choose that. You are, however, in a position to buy or not buy that. So if you don't like it, just don't buy it. I mean, it's as simple as that.
If there is a change that is done and it is clearly done for popularity reasons, like you take a character and you make them gay when they want, or if you take a character and make them straight when they want, both things, but it's clearly done to pander to a certain community. That's something different because that's pandering.
Yeah, but also that will be found out.
Yes.
It's very obvious when it's pandering, but you won't be able to tell if it is or if it isn't until the movie comes out and you see it. So again, shut the fuck up and get the fuck over it. All right, I'm done.
Okay. Where was I up to? Andrew Day won for the Billie Holiday movie, United States versus Billie Holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't think is coming out until...
It might not even come out here in Australia.
Well, looks forward. Chadwick Boseman got his posthumous.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yep.
He has two, like, I keep going on about it, but he's got two fantastic monologues in that movie that just... It's a masterclass in acting. It's his best work, I think, ever.
Yeah.
And I will not be surprised if he wins Best Actor at the Academy Awards. posthumously because he deserves it.
Yeah, and I hate to say it's a popular thing to do something, give awards posthumously, but it does highlight them when it's like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this, if we don't give him it now, and he deserves it. You've missed your shot, and if he deserves it, then all the more so.
Yeah.
I think I already said Chloe Zhao won Director of a Motion Picture for Nomad Land, which is
well,
correct.
You said Nomad Land, but
yes. It won both the Drama Motion Picture Award and the Director Award as well.
Yep.
Borat, subsequent movie, won Best Comedy or Musical.
What was it up against? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, that one.
Because I feel like that was a tight race for some of them.
Yeah, that was one of the closer roles overall, because I think it was up against David Copperfield, or maybe that was just out there. There was a few.
Yeah.
I just had the winners set up, so now I have to go look it up. So I have to quickly speed through.
Got him.
Yes, but I mean, we had a lot to say about that movie when it came out.
Yeah, it's a good film. It's crazy.
Yes,
it's insane what they managed to capture, like the real situations that are there, and the state of the world's greatest country.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry, but you guys are fucked up. Yeah. You guys need help.
And nothing's changed.
No, nothing's changed. Well, things have changed, but not in the way that they need to.
No.
Not enough. But you'll get there, hopefully.
So maybe one day. This is another one where it's like the other things it was nominated against.
Australia
there was one here that shouldn't have been, which was music.
Yeah, what the fuck? Sia's film, music, which by all accounts is just insulting to people on the spectrum.
Yeah.
I refused to see that.
And then it was also up against The Prom, which is a Netflix movie.
Again, insulting.
Yeah. And the other two nominations were the Hamilton movie put to
which
screen.
I don't think deserves to be nominated because it's a Broadway thing.
Well, this is a musical.
It's a Broadway musical that was recorded while on Broadway.
No, it was actually a special recording just for the thing.
No, it wasn't. It was mixed in with...
It was some mixed in, but they did do a special show that was recorded just for it.
Yeah. I understand that, but also it's a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
Like it was not... It has not been filmed to be a movie or a TV show.
No.
It has been filmed as a Broadway musical.
Yeah. But still, compared to music or The Prom,
I'm not saying it is better than those.
Yeah,
but at least the other ones were filmed as movies. You know what I mean?
I do kind of know what you mean.
The category there is so I don't know why.
I mean,
there were other comedies out there that could have been.
Palm Springs was the last nominee.
Yes, Palm Springs. I think deserved it more
than Borat.
I love Borat. I love the movie because it brought a lot of cultural issues. But as a film, I think Palm Springs was better.
Yeah. The foreign language movie was won by Minari, which makes perfect sense. It's like there was several good nominees.
I mean, foreign language films are all quality. I feel most foreign language films that get nominated are all quality. Not a lot of them have been like panda fests that have been trying to buy out the Academy to try and get nominations.
Because I think out of anything, they're usually the smallest budget movies.
Yes,
they get in and. I sometimes think if for indie makers, maybe they should go overseas and do it in foreign language because they might get more traction that way.
One of our friends, actually, Ant, one of his best friends from university, he has been living in Europe and traveling around making movies there because it's so much easier for him to do what he wants.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do what you want and free from regulation or something, it can be
not just regulation, but like... gatekeepers.
Yes. Yeah.
The film industry gatekeepers that have the money and refuse to share it with people with ideas. Well, people they don't know. Which again, I understand, but it's kind of like, well... I
mean, in Europe, there's so much more avenues to get what... Like, if you have an idea...
I mean, even in America.
Yeah. If there's an idea you have and you can know that a certain group of people are going to buy into that idea... Yeah.
I mean, Yue Boll had a career. Like, fucking hell.
Anyway. Daniel Kaluuya won for supporting actor in motion for Judas and
the Black Messiah.
Yeah, the Black Messiah,
which I'm really looking forward to. That comes out this month over here as well. And I mean, I think he's probably going to be nominated for the Academy Awards as well.
I'm trying to work out who he's going to be up against in Best Supporting.
Best Support, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Because, I mean, the Golden Globe nominees, honestly, it's like, it doesn't seem to be that interesting. I'm trying to remember. One actress. Yeah, he was up against Sacha Baron Cohen for Chicago 7.
Yeah. Which is also, he does a fantastic job in that.
But it's like Jared Leto is on here for the little things. And once again, it's like, it feels like this list was rushed.
Yeah, I think if a performance is being nominated in a film where it's not adding to the movie, I don't think it should be nominated. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Like if
sometimes you don't have a choice.
In my head, I understand that. And I understand some actors are just far and above the film that they're cast in.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. But like when it comes to award season, if the performance isn't adding to the film, even if it's a good performance, the context in which that performance is in doesn't preclude it for a nomination.
So it depends on the quality of the movie overall, because sometimes you can have a movie that you call a good movie, but it contains an outstanding performance. Yes. Where you're like, okay, that performance deserves to be nominated.
Yeah, of course, because that's part of the structure of the film.
Yeah, but then again, you might see a really, really great movie that all the performances, I mean, think of the Lord of the Rings. It's like, there's no performances in Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's good performances all throughout, but there's nothing that really stands out except maybe Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis stands out 100%.
Yeah, but at that time, that was, I mean, to say, even now it's conscientious to say, isn't it?
Yeah, It's not, which I hope changes soon because,
Jane Fonda won the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which I think is the Lifetime Award.
Lifetime Achievement.
Which is kind of funny that it's taken her this long to get it, but you know.
Hey, she's lived a lifetime.
She has. Jodie Foster won Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for...
Which is great because I don't feel like I've seen her in the spotlight for quite a while now. She's been behind the camera a lot recently.
I think she's done a lot of producing work, or she's worked...
She's directed movies. Yeah. She's been directing a lot of films as well. And it's nice to see her in front of the lens for once.
I mean, I'm skipping some of the awards, because obviously we're not going to talk about the TV ones.
Yeah, they're not important.
Like for example, Soul won Best soundtrack as well, and it's like that's
score. It's score, which I think it deserved. I think it deserved. Well, like jazz is one of the hardest genres of music to perform, and to do a whole film score.
There is a
original.
Yeah, there's a marriage between the score and the movie there perfectly.
Yeah, so that's. I'm
not saying it didn't deserve it. I'm just saying I don't care about that award in general.
That's fair.
I mean, I do care, but you know, The Trial of Chicago 7 won Best Screenplay, so Aaron Sorkin won that.
Aaron Sorkin's a gun for that. Like, he's just
when it comes to screenplays,
he doesn't have a foot in the door there. He's got like half his body.
What's the online learning service? And he Masterclass. He does a masterclass. He does screenwriting there.
I should get it. I want to get it.
Yeah. Sacha Baron Cohen won Best Actor in a Musical Comedy for Borat, which didn't surprise anyone.
No.
Rosamund Pike. Oh, actually, he had quite a few people he was up against, though, because he was up against Andy Samberg and Dev Patel. So there was some. That was actually one of the highest, closest races.
Although Andy Samberg just played himself in that movie.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. No. I'm just saying he played himself.
I mean,
whereas Dev Patel showed a lot more range, I feel.
Yeah. Rosamund Pike won Best Actress for, what's the name of the movie now?
It should be there.
It should be there, shouldn't it?
Oh dear.
Well, it's the
I Care a Lot.
I Care a Lot.
The one I was talking about.
Yeah. We did talk about it earlier, but it's a very forgettable name.
She cares a lot.
She does care a lot.
Yeah.
I was gonna skip some of these, but you know, Anya Taylor-Joy won for Queen's Gambit, and I was kind of happy about that too.
Yeah. So Queen's Gambit also won for
miniseries.
Best miniseries, which is also fair. Like, it's a good series, and she's fantastic in it.
Mark Ruffalo won for Best Actor in a miniseries as well for a series I've never even heard of, which is kind of nice to for a series to get highlighted that way. Jason Sudeikis, that's another TV series. Okay, back to the stuff that matters. That's it. That's all the movies.
I love how you said back to the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's it. That's the end of the list.
Yeah. Nothing else matters. That's the Golden Globes. Nothing really matters.
to me.
Anyway, the wind blows.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, that's that out of the way.
Yeah, I know.
So you know what the next thing we're gonna do?
Oh dear. Here we go.
Guys, we're gonna do a new segment called Drunk Synopsis.
Yeah, so once a month, one of us will pull the short straw and be forced to watch a movie by the other person. I pulled the short straw this month, and it was the month of Valentine's Day. Well, you know what? I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's send it over back to us.
Yeah, let's go for it, guys.
You know, it's a terrible idea.
What is a terrible idea, Scotty?
Getting drunk on Mario Kart.
Getting drunk playing. What did we play? Mario Kart.
Okay, I may have to do this podcast single-handed today, but
bullshit.
That's fine.
It's not my fault.
Hi guys, I'm Scotty.
I'm Jorgs.
Jordan, yes.
I'm Jorgs.
He's Jorgs. Okay, fine. We'll go with that name. I don't care.
You watched something that I didn't watch.
I took a bullet. This series.
And this is the segment called Take a Bullet.
Yeah, it's Take a Bullet.
We're calling it Take a Bullet.
We are taking a bullet. I can't remember the name. So Jordan.
One of us watches a bad movie or just any movie,
but
the other one doesn't.
We know it's a bad movie. We will go into a movie for your guys' sake because we love your audience.
And the person who didn't go see the movie, asked some questions, and the person who did go see the movie does their best to explain the movie.
Oh, I will do my best. In fact,
thank you.
I have a clarity on this movie. In some ways, this movie speaks to me at a spiritual level like no movie ever has. And we'll get into that. Oh dear, we'll get into that.
So the movie today.
This is Wild Mountain Thyme, starring Christopher Walken. I don't know why I'm starting with Christopher. I know I'm starting with Christopher Walken. We'll get into that. Emily Blunt and Jamie Dornan, as well as a whole host of other people.
John Hamm is in it.
He is.
A Holiday Granger, who I've never really seen before, but she looks quite pretty.
She is pretty.
Oh no, I clicked on something weird.
Okay, go back. Unlink
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Wow, my head is swimming. So,
okay, this segment is called Take a Bullet, and this will be a special podcast. We'll probably do once a month. We better do it once a month because I took the bullet this week.
Yeah, my turn's next week. I mean, next month.
You're taking it next month, exactly.
Next month. Oh man, I can't wait to see.
I'll be honest though.
Then. Yes.
I could have taken a far worse bullet. Because another movie came out this month. And
really?
Happy Valentine's Day. This is our Valentine's special. Bullet for my Valentine, notwithstanding, this is a bullet for Taking a Bullet podcast happens to be for Valentine's Day. And the movie I could have watched was Love, Weddings, and Other Tragedies. Mistakes.
Oh, I heard about that.
Which, 3 separate reviews. I read them. The first line was, this hardly counts as a review, as this was hardly a movie. 4% on Rotten Tomatoes as of doing this podcast. That is the movie we could have done. And that was just a little Facebook reminder that stuff happens in the world. But yes, that's the movie I could have watched. And you know what? I considered watching it straight after watching this movie. But I wasn't that desperate.
Yeah, I think that would have been a bad decision.
I have standards. They're low.
Well, I don't. Okay.
They're low.
Okay, yes, you
they're
do
low, but I have standards.
I suppose you have standards. But Sweet Mountain. No, not Sweet Mountain Time.
Wild Mountain Time.
I wish it was called Sweet Mountain Time.
Okay. Do you want me to describe this movie to you?
Well, first of all.
You have questions. I know you've got questions.
What the fuck is going on? Because I've only seen the trailer, right?
Okay.
I've only seen the trailer, and for me, okay, I'm going to explain what I think the trailer, what the movie is.
You do that. You do that. That's a good idea.
So this woman grows up in a farmstead beside another farm.
Yes, there are 2 farms.
And she grows up falling in love with this kid of the farmer next door. And then she goes to New York and she has a life. And then she comes back for some stupid reason. I don't know what, because it's not in the trailer.
Yeah.
But then she falls in love with Jamie Dornan, who's this fucking failure of a human being. And John Hamm tries to come and take her back to New York or whatever the fuck.
Okay. That sounds like a good movie.
Really?
Compared to what we watched. What I watched.
Do tell.
So it starts off with this wonderful spread montage of cinematic shots bestowing us with the pleasantries that are Ireland, and it is a sight to behold. And I heard Ireland screaming, "Why the fuck am I in this movie?" Because soon after that, we get Christopher Walken's narration. And I knew straight from that go, it's like, this is based on a bloody play, isn't it?
It is?
It is based on a play, yeah. By the same director as well.
Oh, God.
And I could end it there. I could end the description of this movie there because ultimately that's the flaw. That is the start and beginning of this film's flaws.
Bro.
Is it's based on a play.
Bro.
Yep.
Do you know who the director's last movie was?
Moonstruck? When was it? What was it? What was the last movie?
It was Doubt.
Doubt.
The really fucking good one with Seymour Hoffman.
Hey, no, that's the thing. The director's great.
What?
Okay. To sum up this movie's problems before I get into it, is it doesn't know what it is in terms of a series of medium. It doesn't know if it is a play, if it's a comedy, if it's a drama, if it's a romance.
Right.
If it's a social commentary.
Yeah.
And somehow it's all those and none of those, and they all fail.
That's so sad.
You know, remember when we were watching Dangerous Woman and there's this incredible pendulum swing between the thought decisions between the main character?
What do you mean, Dangerous Women? Do you mean
Promising Young Woman?
Promising?
Yes, I do mean Promising Young Woman.
That's the second time.
That's in my head as Dangerous Young Woman because
he's drunk, everyone. So just forgive him.
I think they're going to be more aware of your drunkenness than mine.
He's not. Well, I've drunk way more than you because I followed the rules.
I did follow the rules. I drank the same amount.
Okay, anyway. Well, the first three rounds that we played, I got like really 9 drinks each game, and you only got like 3 or 4.
I counted the glasses. We drank the same amount of alcohol.
And then, fuck off, we did.
I was drinking for pleasure as well. I was drinking for pleasure as well. Okay.
Don't say that again. Don't say I'm drinking for pleasure again. I don't want to hear that out of your filthy mouth again.
So as I was saying, we start this movie with this beautiful, beautiful landscape of Ireland, and I was like, I want to be there. And then Christopher Walken's Irish accented narration kicks in.
I was terrified of that because he's not Irish.
No shit.
He's not Irish. And I don't know why he's in this movie.
Where's the line? There's this terrible line. He has this line. He says it later on in the movie as well. It is, if an Irishman dies while telling a story, you know he'll be back. And I was like, what? Oh, no. No, because he starts the line. He says he's dead. And first of all, he's not dead at the start of the movie. So why did you start there? But
because it's a narration, he's telling the story from beyond the grave.
It's fine. I mean, I've seen that also terrible movie directed by Tim, what's his face?
Burton.
Yeah, with Ewan McGregor.
I was right, Burton.
Yeah, you were completely correct.
The fish one, not A Fish Called Wanda. The other one.
No, the one with time stops all the time.
Ewan McGregor and fucking.
We know the movie we're talking about.
You know
the movie we're talking about. Anyway, it's like
Burton's side chick.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Helen. Me and Helen go way back. We're good buddies, so she knows I'm just joking.
If an Irishman dies while telling a story, be sure he'll be back. And I was like, truly terrifying Irish necromancy. A tale of Irish necromancy. This is the greatest horror since Trolls 2.
Wow.
If you know what Trolls 2 is.
That is that's a big horror since Trolls 2.
Yeah.
So
it's a play. Okay, so the film is
Can we dissect this as a play? Like, does it work as a
Okay. In a live environment where these words, the script was put to page and said by people on stage, it might work. In fact, I could believe it works because I have a background in theater. Just to be narcissistic and vain for a second, I have a background in theater. I've done backstage for theaters for a long time. And I've seen shoddy theater stuff, and it works. Shoddy theater can be great live. It doesn't matter because there's an environment. There's this electricity in the air. There's this compassion. There's this connection between audience and people on stage, the actors. And the shoddy acting might be fine. The shoddy performance of script.
Well, you got to be loud on a theater because I've done my share of being on stage in doing theater productions, and you have to be louder. You have to be bigger. You have to be a little bit more obvious because you're playing for the audience in the back. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
You're aiming for the audience that can't. But the thing is, can't hear everything.
There are moments of that, and there are moments of drama, classic film drama, and there are moments of classic film romance, and they all are in this movie and they all take away from each other.
Oh. That's bad. So, because I remember seeing the trailer, and some of the dialogue does feel very theatrical,
and some
like
of
the conversation, like she says, something about who doesn't want to, who in all of Ireland doesn't want to fight? No,
that scene everybody is in the movie.
Everybody but me is what he says.
Yes, that scene
is it works for
a
trailer,
fantastic line.
But it doesn't work for.
So first of all, this is you remember it with the what's the movie called with Kevin Spacey, the driving one, Baby Driver. You know the Baby Driver trailer had a scene that wasn't in the movie. This has that same thing with that scene because that scene isn't the movie. It's shot from the car. There's a lady watching that scene take place from inside a car.
Yeah.
So you'll hear it through doors.
Diegetic.
Yes, which is fine, and it's an okay scene, but it's scene placement. And what's crazy is this movie sometimes does it right. It sometimes gets the diegetics and the scene placement right. It sometimes gets the editing right, and you're like, oh, hang on a sec, there's almost a movie there, and then it goes back to this formulaic. I can't call it formulaic because.
It doesn't know what formula it is.
It doesn't know its formula is. Exactly. It doesn't know what road it's trotting because they keep swapping. So after we have this entrance, I knew straight away. I did without Googling it, and I did Google it because I didn't care. I knew what I was in for. I was like, okay, I'm getting the phone out, I'm Googling, and I wrote notes. As I was going. This film was not aimed at me. This film was based on a play, and then I Googled what's correct.
Yeah.
I know about theatre. I know this has all the overwritten tropes of theatre cliches which rely on the actors to cheese through, to perform their way through. But the problem is the comedy that will get us through those scenes doesn't fire.
Yeah.
Because it has mistimings. And those mistimings are relying on the director to know when to go from point to point. And the points aren't clear because the points are aimed at a different medium. They're aimed at the theatre medium.
So do you think that all the actors that were in this movie, do you reckon they signed on because why do they sign on?
The weird thing is there are moments for every single actor, including Christopher Walken's terrible Irish accent to perform well. And yet there are moments where they provide some of the dodgiest acting ever imagined because the script, okay, I have this brilliant point and I was very proud of it. Very, very proud of it.
Brilliant point. You're just like...
The most heartfelt scene is ruined by the confusion. The script, the good lines of the script are lost in the mire of the melodrama. That's what happens.
Because it felt like seeing some of the more serious toned scenes in the trailer.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like it could be a comedy. Like the drama contention.
Oh, the comedy had such potential. And in some ways... So it has this thing. I mentioned Trolls 2.
Yes.
It has this thing where it almost reaches Trolls 2 where...
Do you mean like the 1980s?
Oh, I'm talking about that terrible horror film. I am talking about terrible horror film.
Yeah, the one where it's like...
Oh my God!
Barbara, they're going to eat you.
Yeah.
And then they're going to eat me too.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It has that potential.
I love that.
But the other problem is...
I love that. Can we get Hollywood to remake that?
Trolls 2. Oh.
Please?
There are still cinemas in the...
Is it called
States.
Trolls 2?
It's Trolls 2. It's by Goldman's, yes.
Because there's the kids film series Trolls.
It's
which also has Trolls 2.
Completely different.
Okay, cool. So just if you're wondering, like... For our audience, if you're wondering if we're talking about the kids' movie Trolls 2, we're not. We're talking about the horror movie from the 80s.
Yes.
That starred a bunch of B-list actors for good reason.
Yeah, with B-grade CGI and B-grade...
costumes.
Yeah, B-grade everything.
I
mean, B-grade is almost a compliment to it.
Dude, you are like the most talkative you've ever been after having like 4
I have so much to talk
about.
No. It's not just the alcohol.
It's 100% the alcohol.
I have so much to talk about.
It's like 110%.
You should see my notes. So they go on for pages.
You were drinking in the cinema.
If only it would make me cry. The comedy doesn't fire. That's what we were trying to say. Stupid lines are stupid, and I wrote that with double O because they are stupid. This reminded me of Heartbeat, which is
what's Heartbeat?
It's a sitcom from the early 90s and
Irish.
90s. Yes. Or is it Scottish? It might just be English. It's a soap opera. There are moments of this that are pure soap opera, and soap opera has its place, but that to me, it's like this. I'm not.
It knows it's soap opera.
It knows it is a bit self-aware.
Whereas this one doesn't know what it is. Like you're telling me it doesn't know what it is.
It doesn't know what it is because it keeps flipping between the switches.
No, keep going. I've got something I want to ask about the actual film.
Yeah. Okay.
Later.
But basically, it's three. Yeah. The music's also great at the start. Can I say the music is inspiring? It's Celtic women. If you're into Celtic women at all,
they were all very attractive. I mean, they probably still are very attractive.
Very attractive and
strangely attractive because they were just always attractive. You know what I mean?
They are always attractive.
It's crazy.
Age doesn't matter sometimes.
No. I'm pretty sure they're in their 80s and they're still they look like they're 30s.
Joan Rivers is still attractive. And how old is Joan Rivers?
Yeah, I don't know. 102.
Yeah, she could
be.
She's immortal.
Anyway, music. I remember watching seeing it in the trailer and seeing Emily Blunt singing and thinking that does not sound like her. It doesn't look like it's her voice. You know what I mean?
It might be.
The dubbing
There's
is
a
out
song.
of whack.
Okay. It's this loosely connected. You know how sometimes
Oh, Danny boy.
Yeah, exactly. There's this weird
pipes. The pipes are calling. That's not the same.
It's that style of music, and it has
the song is the name of this movie.
Yes, it is, and there are multiple people who sing that song during this film, and it's loosely connected to the plot.
What do you mean multiple people?
It's not just Emily Blunt.
You fucking kidding?
No, I'm not. So the idea is,
please tell me Christopher Walken sings it at one point.
He might hum it, but I don't remember. But Jamie Dornan, who plays a character called Anthony, and Emily Blunt plays a character called Rosemary. Anyway, Jamie Dornan, Anthony's dad, his mum's character, who's passed away before the movie, used to sing all the time. And the song she used to sing was Mild Mountain Time.
One thing I noticed, again, sorry, I feel like I'm derailing this, but she doesn't have a last name in the cast list, her character.
Rosemary?
Yeah, it doesn't have a last name.
Oh.
In the cast list.
So there's two families.
What's her last name? Do you know? Do you remember?
Dorman or something? It's not Dorman. That's an
Dornan?
in-joke. That was almost an in-joke.
In-joke.
In-joke. It was an in-joke. And I really shouldn't do a bad Irish accent, but I might do it for the rest of the episode.
Fuck. I can do a better one than that.
I said bad.
I'm not going to, though.
Can you do a bad Irish accent?
Because I'm not going to do that to the Irish people, Scotty.
Okay. So
I'll do it to you.
The first 20 minutes in this movie. Everything I've said, that's the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Wow.
And then the sappiness of the sappy lines, sapping from the screen, saps into you.
That's a lot of use of the word sap.
Because, it hadn't hit the romance yet.
Yeah.
It had done the theater cliches. Mm-hmm. It had done the drama cliches. And you're already aware that it was flipping between the two. Then all of a sudden the romance cliches hit and you're like, oh no. Oh no, you were avoiding these.
Oh no. Oh no.
And now we need to talk about Jamie Dornan because I actually think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's got a lot of skill.
I haven't seen him in anything except for the Mr. Grey. What is it called?
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, the 20-minute.
There was a fantastic
20 minutes of that somewhere along the line.
He played a serial killer in a television series.
Really?
I think it was actually the English adaptation of The Bridge. Could be 100% correct. It might be something else.
That's kind of cool.
And it was really good. He played the villain. He is a very skilled actor.
He's in Synchronic. Synchronic,
and we will watch that soon.
Which we were going to see today, but we didn't see it. But we will see it very soon.
We're very with Anthony Mackie as well. And
I've heard great things about it. But anyway, yes. So he's a great actor, and this is just a terrible role.
The role is written as meant to be a confusing character, and confusing, yes, that successfully is brought through, but he's meant to be an idiot, and then he's really smart. He's meant to be, and then he's smart for a while, and then he becomes an idiot again. His character doesn't make sense. And, okay, I'm going to jump to the end. His character, this is the spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So turn it down. Wait. Yeah. For the next 10 seconds, turn your speakers down.
Don't watch the movie. His character believes he's a honeybee.
What?
His character believes he's a honeybee.
What?
And this is meant to be a major point in the fucking movie.
Oh no. I just think of Have you seen the episode of The Simpsons where Apu has been working at the Quickie Mart for too long and he thinks he's a honeybee?
Yes.
And the security footage is going...
Yes. It's that level of intelligence without the comedy.
I am a buzzing bee.
I actually
buzz.
Near the start
so
of the
he
film.
thinks he's a fucking bee.
Yeah.
What? Did he get hit in the head? Like dropped? What happened?
The weird thing is the film makes out it's meant to be genetic. It's meant to be from his mum's side. So his family is like...
So his family are just nuts? His family are fucking crazy? I'm sorry. I just want to point out that the fact that you have brought this to my attention has sobered me up so much.
It's crazy, right?
I'm no longer buzzing with alcohol because of how crazy that was.
I know. It sobers you. That madness of this level can exist inside this sort of movie.
He thinks he's a... So how does he justify how he's talking to people?
Well, that's the thing. Is he still somehow where he's human? And this is the reason.
Please tell me
he can't ask the lead. Okay, lead female lead to marry him.
Emily Blunt. You can't ask Emily Blunt to marry him because he's a fucking bee.
Yes.
What is this? What? He's a bee. This is so. What you're telling me is this is a live action remake of Bee Movie.
In some ways, it is. In very many ways, it is a live action remake of Bee.
Retcon to Ireland.
Without bees.
Starring Christopher Walken. Oh,
the only...
Oh,
there are two moments in this movie before we get to the ending of this movie we discover this fact that are any hints of this. Okay, 3 moments. There's a flashback to when he's a kid and he sniffs a flower. There's a scene where he tells he's drunk and there's a drunk lady next to him who just said she slept with a priest. And he's like, I have a better secret than that, and whispers into her ear, and she laughs her head off and falls off a cemetery wall backwards. That's the second moment.
And she dies?
No, she's fine.
Oh.
But we don't see her again for the rest of the movie, so maybe she does die.
She's dead.
Okay.
100%.
Canonically, she's dead.
I'm shipping it.
She's dead. But she's hot. Whatever.
What do you mean she's hot?
The actress who plays her.
Oh, she must be the one I was talking about.
Maybe. And the third moment is you see Christopher Walken watching a documentary on honeybees on the TV. Those are the only 3 moments in the movie that point towards this at all. That's it. Oh, and also he's strange.
Oh,
everyone calls him strange, except he seems to be quite down to earth up until that.
See, the only time we ever see it in the trailer is when he's like proposing to the donkey.
Yeah, which
and
makes
this old
sense.
guy is like laughing at him.
That scene makes sense.
It does.
He wants to propose.
That's
he
not a
genuinely
weird
wants
thing.
to propose, and what better practice has he got than a donkey? Honestly, it's not that
makes
bad an
sense.
idea.
If it was him sniffing flowers or trying to poop on roses or something, then yeah, that'd be like.
And also that scene I could see makes perfect sense
rubbing
on stage.
his genitals against pollinated flowers.
Yeah, which is basically what we have in the flashback with him sniffing flowers.
Why didn't? Well, if he believes he's a bee, he should be rubbing his dick all over
He
flowers.
doesn't do
right?
it. He just sniffs.
He should be doing it if he believes.
But we don't see
wholeheartedly.
that, fortunately.
See, this is the problem with actors today. They say their method, but they really don't commit. That's what Jamie Dornan should.
I don't want to take anything away from any of the actors in this movie.
No, that's fair.
In fact,
probably...
I'll take this back because before the movie, I was worried about Christopher Walken, and I mean his Irish accent's terrible. But let's not take away. There are scenes in this movie he delivers fine acting, but he's
always good.
He's always good,
even when he's not.
But that's
not
the problem with the
on.
movie. Is the movie doesn't know what it is, so these scenes feel so out of place when they do happen.
Yeah,
we get death montages, funeral scenes, come out of nowhere. They hit you in your face, and like, where did this come from? I mean, I saw it coming, but it's like, this isn't the important point of the movie. This isn't the theme. This isn't the story we're trying to tell here. Why is this happening? I wrote this note, and I got to read it out. It's like, there's nowhere near cringy enough to gauge a reaction from the audience. And then I instantly write, okay, I take that back. Because it instantly goes into the romance that doesn't make sense. It comes out of nowhere, as I said, when he's telling the secret to this girl in the graveyard, he tells her a secret and she falls off the thing backwards. And there's some parts of that which are so cringe. there's some emotional manipulation scenes done on Christopher Walken's character, and you're like, this is so fucking obvious. Why are they bothering to do this?
Yeah.
Poor Jamie Dornan is directed to do two opposing things, which make his character make more logical than he's meant to be in the head. And the rest of the characters are much better.
Did they have any fun though? Like,
Okay, yes, they had fun, and I can tell that the actors at least put their heart and soul into this, at least the things they could. But there isn't much sense to be made of the script in terms of making a film for the audience. And then we get this pendulum swing between, we get this nails on chalkboard effect from the soap opera and the horrible fake Irish accents, which I'm partly putting on right now.
What I'm gonna get you to do?
What?
Is pull your list out.
Yeah, okay. It's here.
And then just go through all the rest of it.
Okay. Do you want me to do the movie itself in beats, or?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I feel like we've already seen the movie.
There are moments of Island screaming.
The rest of it.
Island screams.
Did it have nice aerial shots though?
They do. It's beautiful. Ireland is a beautiful country. If you ever want to go to Ireland, I do recommend it. It's a beautiful island. I feel
like this movie, if you're going to toss up like what kind of Irish movie you should see, you should probably see Pixie.
Yeah.
Because Pixie's just way better.
Just better movie in general.
It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. It knows what it is.
Even the fake Irish accents are better in that movie.
The chick is really pretty.
Nothing against them.
The guys are really pretty.
That's true.
The Alec Baldwin's in it.
That's true.
Doing a shitty Irish accent.
Christopher Walken, bad Irish accent. Alec Baldwin, bad Irish accent.
And it fucking works so deliciously well. I love it. Pixie. Everyone, go see Pixie. Okay. But do you have anything else to add to this? I
have so much to add to this, which is kind of sad.
Let's condense it down as much as you possibly can, because this is only supposed to be like it's not even, it's supposed to be part of the next episode.
Yeah, it is.
And we've been going for almost half an hour now.
I know. Isn't it fantastic?
That's amazing.
There's a scene.
I've learnt so much.
Jordan, prepare yourself.
Oh God.
There's a scene. Emily Dorman's character is small.
Emily Dorman.
No, Emily Blunt. You know what I'm going with. You know where my brain is fizzled at.
Emily's
she's a fantastic person.
Blunt.
We're not going to get into that.
Emily Blunt's I know my wife is a fantastic person.
Yeah, okay.
She's the best fantastic person.
Rosemary's the character of Rosemary smokes. And there was a scene in this movie where Anthony, played by Jamie Dornan, is meant to be saying terrible things to her, which include, not limited to, quit smoking.
Terrible things.
I know, isn't it horrible?
What a horrible thing to tell.
And she does quit smoking.
Because of the bullying that she experienced underneath Jamie Dornan.
Yeah.
Why does she care about Jamie?
Oh, she hasn't been in love with him since she was 10 years old.
No, that's what I mean. Why does she care about him? Why is she there?
Occasionally he'll come out.
Why is she there? Okay. Why is she back home when she could be elsewhere living her life?
That's part of the storyline of the movie, oddly enough. And she ends up running the whole farm. She runs up the farm.
What do you mean runs the farm? What was she doing it before? They make it sound like she's like some sort of executive person that has like a job in New York City or something.
No, she's not.
What is she? What is she doing there?
She's a farmer.
But
she runs a farm.
Why is John Hamm there?
Let's get into John Hamm.
Where did he come from and why is he there?
In some ways, he's the audience. John Hamm is somehow the audience to everything crazy thing that's going on in this bloody movie.
Why is he there? Why, like in the narrative?
Okay,
why does he show up there?
He is there to be like, hang on, another love interest might exist. So the main two characters get together.
Why does he go there? Does he like... Did he see a flyer about Emily Blunt and go, that woman is very pretty. I'm going to go over there and romance the shit out of her.
He's actually...
What did he do to get there?
He's actually the cousin of Jamie Dornan's character.
Oh, God.
And the weird thing is, in the movie, I actually buy it. It's actually buyable. But the thing is, there's some racism going on here. There's some anti-American racism going on of what American is. And I don't care for it. I get it, but I don't care for it. He's like the ultimate capitalist American. But he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's actually all right.
He's got the money to provide, and Jamie Dornan's a weird guy who thinks he's a bee.
But in some
Please
ways,
tell me she ends up with him instead of Jamie doing it.
No, of course fucking not.
Fucking hell.
He gets a better girl.
What?
He ends up with a better girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
I know. And in many ways, I was very happy with that because he deserved better.
So maybe the movie should have been about them instead of...
In some ways, it almost feels like it is because...
Oh, wow.
Okay. The ending of this movie.
All right. Okay. If we're moving on to the ending, can you promise me that this is like...
Yeah, I'll get to the end.
This is the last we'll ever speak of this movie.
Please, let it be.
Because this is hurting my head.
You know what? This is hurting our heads. But the ending of this movie goes on for half a fucking hour.
Just like this segment of the podcast.
It has, because the movie can't decide when to end. I'm just going to, into segments. Emily Blunt confronts Jamie Dornan's character. She tries to get him to say that he loves her. Then they figure out he does love her and he's been trying to propose the whole time, but he's lost the ring. She found the ring and she has the ring. That stuff, and that takes half an hour to explain. Also, he's a honeybee. Yeah. Now you can understand why I was frustrated with this movie so much.
Who thought?
I
understand. Like
on stage, it'd be fine because it'd be silly, it'd be funny. But the way the movie has drama moments,
I blame Cats for this.
You blame Cats for this?
I blame Cats for this because when Cats came out, I think it told the rest of Hollywood, you know what? We can make a lot more musicals now.
It's not Cats' fault.
We can make a lot more theater stuff now.
Have you seen Fences with Denzel Washington?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's a good movie.
I've heard it's really good.
It's okay.
No, it's built on the performances of Denzel Washington and oh fuck, I just had her name in my mouth.
Is it Viola Davis or someone else?
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
It is Viola Davis.
It is Viola Davis.
And it is amazing. So I've heard about it.
It is a good movie, but
it is theater.
It is theater put to film.
Yeah.
And it takes... It is a different medium. You have to be aware that theater is a very different medium to film. You can't do the same things in theater you can do in film.
It's not the same.
Like Hamilton might get nominated for an Oscar, for a Grammy, and it might deserve that Grammy. That's fantastic for the one that's on Disney Plus right now.
But that's not the same. So different. It's so Hamilton, the way in which, and a lot of millennials are hating on Hamilton right now on social media, which is fine. I don't give a shit. Mainly because like it's nominated for Golden Globe, even though it came out theatrical wise years before it should have ever been eligible.
It's never been theatrically released.
Yes, it has, technically on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're nominating the Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
Stream of it, which I think is a bit, it's a bit ridiculous.
Whatever, I don't care.
But yeah, I don't give a shit. But like the craft behind the making of Hamilton, the way the songs are constructed, the way the actors do their thing.
Leslie Odom Jr. is a genius.
Oh my fucking God. He's incredible.
Yeah.
So is everybody. Like everybody plays their part to perfection. Mm-hmm. And it's just on another level in terms of theater, really, realistically. It is so much higher. But like that doesn't mean you can make a theater production about a man who thinks he's a honeybee and turn it into a movie.
And that's a minor plot point. An extremely minor plot point, which becomes a major...
Do that! Stop it! Get some help! Please! We don't need this!
No amount of foreshadowing could have prepared the audience for the stupidity of that line. And when I saw it... So this, as I said, this scene would be going...
honeybee.
That scene would be going for half an hour. This is near the penultimate moment of this half an hour long drag of the penultimate scene. And you're just left. Hurry up and get on with it. Everyone, just hurry up and kiss the girl and end the movie. And
just like our audience right now. Telling us.
That's...
To get to the...
Okay, I gotta say this because there are moments in this movie that are actually okay. And it's 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Actually, it's
more now. I checked it. It was like 41.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably deserving to be more like that. And compared to that other movie I briefly mentioned, starring Diane
Marriage, Lies, and Other Dramas, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Love, Marriage, and Other Tragedies.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, it's
same thing.
I tried Googling it early when I was sober and I couldn't get the name right. Doesn't matter. Then Google knew what I meant. Compared to that, it's okay. It's actually okay. It's not that bad, but
no movie is that. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. And there are moments. I want to say this. There's a moment in this movie that did speak to me, and I actually was pissed off with the movie because it did speak to me. because Emily Blunt's character, Rosemary, is watching the ballet. She goes to New York for one day.
That's in the trailer.
Which is in the trailer. And it's not that big a thing in the movie, except that she kisses John Hamm. That's the whole thing.
Really? But why would she go? Oh, fucking hell. John Hamm's a snack. Why wouldn't you just stay with him? You're already there. Yeah. Why would you go back?
She goes to the ballet.
To Jamie Dornan, who thinks he's a fucking bee.
She goes to the ballet and she watches it and it speaks to her and she cries because it was art, it was pure, and she was the swan.
I got the impression that she was a person who liked to dance when she was a kid or something.
So
in the trailer, it shows like at the very beginning.
Remember how I
like
wrote
this kid that's dancing, and we're led to believe that it's her when she was a kid.
Remember how I wrote Ireland is screaming, "Why the fuck am I in this movie?"
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky is also screaming at some points in the movie, "Why the fuck am I in this movie?" But he's a plot point in the same way Ireland in many ways is a plot point. But yes, that moment is like, yes, I've had that moment. A week ago Sunday, I went to a concert in the city. Where a virtuoso Australian performer played Chopin live.
All right. Rub it in.
No, I just want to point this out because this is weird. When you think of that, it's a weird thing to say, right?
What? All right, rub it in?
No.
It's pretty weird.
It is. The idea of listening to just a pianist play on her own.
Yeah.
Chopin.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And yet it was somehow amazing.
But also, like, when you get into that zone where everyone in the room is there for the same reason you are, and also the acoustics are really good, and the person playing the piano knows that the reason why they are there is to give the best version of Chopin that they can give. It's on a different level. Like you can say it's pretentious, which it is.
It is extremely pretentious.
But it is only really pretentious in the mind of the person who thinks it's pretentious. You know what I mean?
I do know. I mean, if the audience is in that level as well, it's like, I want you to go and find something that speaks to you, whether it be art or anything else. There's always a form of art that will speak to you and relieve you and emotionally release you.
And that being said, if you've seen this movie and you like it and you thought that it spoke to you on an emotional level, good for you.
There's a scene where Christopher Walken...
But also, fuck you.
Okay, true. There's a scene where Christopher Walken gets to act his heart out. Act at his absolute best, but it doesn't matter because everything surrounding it takes away from it.
So my point is, if you like this movie, great. If you hate this movie, great.
It's such a confusing movie.
It means nothing.
This movie isn't boring, but it has moments of boring. This movie isn't melodramatic, but there are moments of pure melodrama. I mean, it's pure cringe, and then there are moments that aren't cringy at all. But we just watched Paddington 2, and there are moments in Paddington 2 where there are moments that should be pure cheesiness and pure thingy, but there's such innocence in the film. Just the environment around the film just pushes through, and it's fine.
It knows what it is.
It knows what it is. This film never knew what it was. It never knew what it was, and that's its biggest failing.
And on that note, we're going to send it back to the studio. Boys, take it away.
Oh, okay. That was embarrassing.
And we're back. Yes, thank you guys for doing that past us. What's the movie that I have to watch next?
You're watching Chaos Walking.
That's right.
Daisy Ridley,
Chaos Walking.
Tom Holland.
Where thoughts are on the outside of their brains.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It's like it could be unintentionally great. It could be one of those where it's actually really enjoyable, even though it's shit. I don't know. So I've just thrown it at you, and who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how we go. But it'll follow the exact same kind of structure as what you just heard.
These segments that we're doing with the film techniques and this stuff, we're still trying them out. So if you want to let us know what you think about them, please send us an email.
Give us feedback because we love feedback and we love hearing from you guys.
If you want to send chocolates to Jordan for Valentine's Day, I mean, he's going to take them.
I'm a married man, so you should send them to Scotty.
I mean, if you want to send them to Jordan, and he'll eat them anyway.
Again, Scotty's single, ladies. So if you
as for our PO box, just send it to the governor's house and
Scottish prince.
Yeah.
What was the book I got you?
The Highland
taken by a Scottish lord.
Yeah, we might indulge in you guys in that at some point.
Oh, that'd be great.
A bit of Mills and Boon. Scottish Mills and Boon.
I want you to open an episode reading like a sentence from that book.
I can do that.
That would be fantastic.
I'm putting Jordan's dreams on hold for a second. We have been the Film Roast Podcast.
Yes, he's been Scotty and I've been Jorgs. And join us next time for more film shenanigans.
Shenanigans is an appropriate word.
It's time for a film roast.